Imagine this. You have your own place, you just signed the lease, you're the only one on the lease. Then all of a sudden, you decide, you know what? I want to have somebody live with me. Maybe it's a roommate, maybe it's boyfriend, girlfriend, doesn't matter. So you go to have them move in, and all of a sudden your landlord says, no, you're the only one that's allowed to be here. You're the only one on the lease. Is your landlord allowed to do that? I'm Sean Harvey from Riverview Legal Group. I've been a licensed paralegal since 2013, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about what your rights are as a tenant. First and foremost, in Ontario, a landlord is not allowed to tell a tenant who they are allowed to have over as a guest. A guest can be a person who stays for a few hours, a night, a week, or even forever. That person who is a guest or will become an occupant is allowed to stay as long as the primary tenant allows them to stay. There's nothing the landlord can do. Now, sometimes there are situations, especially in apartment buildings, where the occupant might not get along with the landlord or other guests, and the landlord might attempt to say, I'm going to issue a trespass to property notice and try to kick out that occupant. There's a case called Cunningham, and it's a divisional court decision, and what that decision says is that only a tenant is allowed to invoke the Trespass to Property Act when it comes to who's on their property. A landlord is not allowed to kick somebody out of the house. Now, as a tenant, you are responsible for the behavior of your guests, other occupants, and people that you invite into the rental unit. So if those people that you invite in or have as a guest or another occupant interfere with the landlord's reasonable enjoyment or otherwise cause a disruption, you, of course, could be potentially evicted for that, depending on what the behavior is. But assuming that everybody is on the up and up and nothing really bad is happening and the landlord just doesn't like them, then the landlord is not allowed to use the Trespass to Property Act to determine who is allowed to stay there. You can have somebody over as long and as often as you want. The landlord is not allowed to charge you extra money because you have somebody else living there. They're not allowed to say increase the money for utilities or anything else. They're not allowed to say that you can't share a space. That's entirely up to you. So if you have any questions about landlord and tenant related matters, links in the bio, you can reach out, riverview.legal, or you can just Google my name, Sean Harvey, licensed paralegal.